Right, so let's go and create our spawner now. I'm going to delete this. In fact, I'm going to say you don't have to show me collision anymore. We normally have it turned off, and I'm just going to delete this like so. Right. Let's close this. We'll leave that open, and the pickup. We'll leave that open. So let's come into here. Just go to our plain blueprints, and I'm just going to go blueprint class, and I'm going to create another actor. So if you remember, an actor is basically something we can just place in the level. So let's go actor, and we're going to call this one BP underscore spawner 01. I like my numbers. Control Shift S to save, and let's open that up. Okay, so this is our spawner. Let's just come into here into our event graph, and let's just go spawn actor from class like so. Let's come into our content drawer, make sure we've got our pickup selected. Go back to here and select that one. That's our pickup. Spawn transformation. Well, what we can do here is grab, I think we can actually just control drag. Nope. Let's just right click and go self, and we can get a reference to our self. Let's get our transform. Get actor transform. We can plug that in, so it's going to spawn at the same point as where the where our blueprint is placed. What else have we got here? Owner and instigator. Okay, I think we're fine with that. Can be left empty. We can leave that empty. Collision handling override. Oh, this is the spawn point. Okay, so default, that should be fine as well. And I think that might be all we need. So all we need to do is drag that into there, compile, and there we go. We've got it. Save. So now we have our spawner. Drag it in, and it doesn't look real exciting. When we hit play, if we've done everything right, it goes and spawns our pickup. And hopefully we can pick that up. We can, like so. And there it is. It's gone. We've picked that up. Excellent. So what, you might say? Well, you know, I can do that. I can just drag it in. True, absolutely true. So yeah, so that's not really very useful, but we can do other things with that. First thing I would say, let's again go back to our spawner, go to my viewport, and what we will use is let's add an arrow. The arrow is kind of the default placeholder object, if you like. Let's go the arrow there. Now, something we need to look at. So if we look here, if we look at the default scene route, you'll see we have a transform here. So it's just going to be, excuse me, where we are. That's the one we're getting. That's our self. Now, okay, that's all good. So we've got the arrow. There are two types of locations when we talk about these things. So you can see this is actually a child of the default scene route. So relative to the default scene route, the location is 0, 0, 0. Sorry, that's the relative location. We could go world location as well, which at the moment is not really going to give us anything, I don't think. But we can get that one when we are when we actually have it in the game. So what I'm going to do is, now that's right at the root at the moment, that's fine. Sorry. I'm just going to make that so that it's sticking up and we can kind of see very easily where it is. And we're going to change the graph here. This time, instead of getting this one, we're going to get look at the arrow. So control drag will give me that. And then I want to get the transform. Oh, my typing is terrible. Get world transform. Get world transform. That's what we want. Oh, that's interesting. Is that going to give us what we want? Within its owner world, if any. Oh, that's okay. Let's hang on. There must be another one. That doesn't look right. Transform. Relative transform. We want the world transform. Get world trans. Oh, hang on. No. Where are we? Get socket transform. Come on. Let's not going to give it to us. World transform. Get world transform. That's the one. That looks right. So we will alt click this to break that one, and we're going to pop that into there. And if we have a look at this, notice our location is 0, 0, 0. Our rotation is 0, 90, 0. Our scale is 1, 1, 1. That's our transform right there. So that's what should be going through. Compile, save, and so you can see this time this is where the arrow is. And if we hit play, and come over to here, a little bit different. But that's actually success because our arrow was rotated by 90 degrees. So that works out exactly as I want it to be. If I actually wanted it to be different, there are ways to do this. So if I wanted, so what I'm doing at the moment, I've got this up arrow and I want to keep that, but I don't want to rotate the object that I'm spawning. What we can do is we can actually break this. Break our transform. So we go location, rotation, and scale. And we can, it's a rotation. We can also break, which one do we want? I think it's this one. Yeah. So at the moment, if we have a look at the arrow, X, Y, Z. So we've got 90 here. So we're gonna end up with running out of room. But what we can do, let's just move this. We're not going to use this directly anymore. So hold down Alt and get rid of that. And what I want to do is take this value, which should be in degrees, I hope. So that should be 90 degrees. And I'm just going to subtract. $90. I'm hoping it's going to be degrees and not radians. If it's radians, we'll have to come back and change that. And that's all good. And then what we're going to do is come here and say make rotator. Make rotator. We are going to plug in to Y our altered value. I'm just going to directly plug in X and Z. So we have a new rotator. But of course we need a transform. So we also need make transform. So we've got our rotator, plug that in. And we've also got our location and our scale, and we shouldn't need to change any of those. And to make it look less like spaghetti, oops, we will do this, like so. If you want to create these sort of reroute notes, you just double click on the wire there. Same with this one. Drag that up. And drag that one there as well. So it makes it less cluttered, I guess. And then plug that in. Just a little bit of spaghetti here. And we should have changed that around. So let's compile, save. And let's see if we've done everything right. We have not. It looks like it's gone further. In fact, it looks like it's rotated right around. That's quite interesting. Let me just check. What have I missed? Let's have a look at the arrow. Pitch. It's saying it's added 90. Well, you know, something you can do is if it appears to be right and it's not working, just change the sign. Let's see. Ah, there you go. So sometimes the rotations and stuff don't always work out the way you want them to work. But anyway, so what we've got there, we have this arrow, and now it's the object that we're spawning is going to spawn wherever we want that arrow to spawn. So we can come in here to my BP spawner, select the arrow, and just say I want it. Well, no, I actually want it to be over there. Now we hit run, and instead of it being where it was, we can now place it somewhere else. Isn't that fantastic? Well, you might say no, not really, because we're just placing another object into the world. I could just drag and drop. Well, absolutely. This is true. We could do something like, you know, adding a number of more arrows, so we could have multiple arrows in there and you can have multiple places to spawn. And I mean, if you wanted things to spawn in specific areas, that's not a bad idea. So we could do that. It means we'd have to go and set this up for each of the arrows, which is fine. We can do that, not a problem. But there's a few other things we can do as well. So, okay, that's the first solution. I'm not going to go and do that, but if you did that, you could just add multiple arrows. You could say position 1, position 2, position 3, as many positions as you want. And then you could just do a spawn at each of those positions, and no problem, fantastic, it all works out. Well, fine. But, you know, I'm going to leave you guys to maybe do that one yourself. There's another way we can do things. And we can do things maybe with a more random timed spawn as well. So that might be a little bit more interesting. So again, I'm going to pause here and we'll come back and we'll start looking at some other ways to use our spawn and spawn more objects, which is kind of what we really want to be doing.